Hey guys, it's me David and welcome back to week 33 of building Mandalore. What's so special about today? Today we got the first episode of the finale for Star Wars The Clone Wars Season 7, which of course is Siege of Mandalore. By God, that episode was fantastic. I loved it. Seeing Mandalore be invaded and seeing the city that I've been working on for these last almost 9 months now is just absolutely insane, guys. I am so excited to see where these next 3 episodes of the very final season and final part of the show take us. They are already on such a high note. I'm so excited. Already got a bunch of you guys suggesting things from that new episode. I think specifically a lot of you suggested the underground tunnels where kind of the episode ends. That is something I am looking into doing. There's definitely space to do it on that one side where we had just kind of left it empty. So we'll be seeing maybe about doing that. I'm not positive, but I want to. There's still more to come for Mandalore, so we haven't seen all the parts of the city yet, so there might be more important things to do. But right now, I'm definitely considering it. Now, if you can't tell by the title, we are working on Duchess Satine's Palace. Finally, I've been hyping this up for a long time. I've been saying I wanted to do the palace. Originally, I said I was going to do it like very high up on the back of that wall. That didn't happen. And then I kind of was like, well, we have this space over here on the side of the mock. Let's go ahead and put it over here. And we obviously had to build a whole bunch of the interior before we could get to the palace. And now we are finally at that point where we can start working on it. And actually, I have another surprise. We're not only going to be working on the palace, but there's one other thing that I want to show you guys that I think a lot of you are really going to enjoy. It's a time lapse, so make sure you watch the entire video. I'm going to stop talking. I want to show you guys what I've been working on for this palace. Let's go ahead and jump into it right now. All right, everybody, jumping into this week. As you can see in front of you, have some tiles right here. These are 2x2 white tiles, and all of these panels and plates and bricks. So why am I showing you this? Well, I just absolutely have to thank my girlfriend Meredith for taking the time out. Me and her together took tiles off, removed tiles from all of these plates, okay? These were 100% covered with tiles, all of them. These two, you can see all the plates there. These are all thin plates. And then these 2 bricks. She and I together, I mean, how many of you can say you got a girlfriend that can do that? Like, that's insane, because anybody who's ever removed tiles, especially to this magnitude and level, it's not fun. It's not fun at all. These are all the brick separators we went through. You can even see they have like bent ends on them. This one's a better example. You can see we went through them all right. So yeah, thankfully there's still a good amount left over. But yeah, we removed all of these tiles right here. We removed all of them last night. So this is going to be huge. I absolutely needed these panel bricks right here, these particular pieces, as well as these 16x16 plates. This is going to be so useful for what we're going to be working on today, which is Satine's Palace. I'm so excited to finally start working on that. Got a lot to show you guys. But first, before we actually start working on Satine's Palace, there's one thing we need to build. I don't even want to say what it is. We're just going to jump into time lapse, and you're just going to have to guess what it is. And you'll see here in just a minute. So without ado, let's jump into this time lapse right now, guys. so how many of you were expecting to see this today? I am so excited to finally have this be built. I absolutely love it. So if you can't tell, this is Darth Maul's Mandalorian Gauntlet Starfighter. Now, this was not designed by me. This was designed by a friend of mine. If you guys have heard of him, his YouTube name is Edge of Brix. I'll go ahead and link it down below. But I commissioned him to make this design for this mock. He's actually the same gentleman that actually worked on the ATM-6s over here. So same designer who did these right here also created this. So that was really honestly kind of him to take time out and design this starfighter. It looks so good. Now, when I commissioned him, I asked him, I was like, can you keep it in the scale and same look as I believe it's the 2012 Mandalorian Gauntlet Starfighter that we got as a set, a normal Lego set, the white and blue one. And he did a really good job just making it a teeny bit bigger because that makes sense. This is Maul's Starfighter, so it should feel a little bit bigger than the rest of the fleet. And if you guys didn't know, this actually appears in Star Wars Rebels. So this is what we actually based it off of. We haven't seen it in Clone Wars Season 7 as of yet. Well, as I'm making this episode right now, only up to Episode 9 of Season 7 has premiered. So there's still 3 more episodes where this could appear. Regardless, I still wanted to have it in the mock because it makes sense to have it. I feel like Maul would have this Mandalorian Gauntlet Starfighter by the time when the Clone Wars ends, I guess. So another thing, I do have Maul himself right here. This is the Encyclopedia Maul. Love this figure. I actually swapped the head out with the Microfighter set Maul head, which I actually think works very well with the torso. But anyhow, as you can see, it's a very big starfighter compared to a minifigure. And then I'm sure you're also wondering, what does it look like next to the Lego set? Got it right here. So if we bring that up, put it right next to it. As you can see, it's just a teeny bit bigger. And it really looks great side by side. I absolutely love this. I think it looks actually wonderful. This is really, really, really cool. I'm very excited to have this be built. Now, just like this starfighter, the wings can collapse so you can turn them. Flat and all of that. I don't know if I can do it with one hand, but here is what the other side of the fighter looks like. These are the actual wings. So as great as this design is by Edge of Brix, I think I'm like the first one to actually build it. I don't think anybody has built it yet. And the slight flaw, you can kind of see it, is that I think he built the wings with too many plates in it. So it's actually a little too heavy and strains the Technic here. It's nothing too bad, but I will be telling him about it. So maybe he can make some adjustments if you guys want to build this yourself. So that way it isn't, I wouldn't call it flawed, but just doesn't have as much tension on the actual body. And also, just like how, you know, with this set right here, you can spin the body full 360. Same case here. You can spin, oh, it's harder, but you can spin it 360. I'm trying to keep this set together, but it is certainly possible. So I'm very, very excited to have this. I can't wait to add it to the mock. So that's something we will be doing in the finale. As much as I want to show it in the mock, I want to keep that for the finale. But yeah, I'll leave a link below if you're interested in building this yourself. Again, big shout out to Edge of Brix for taking the time out to design this. Really big thank you. All right, guys, now on to Satine's Palace. All right, so jumping into the palace. So we're actually in the computer now, if you can't tell. And I have the Bricklink Software Studio, or stud.io, whatever you want to call it. I have that pulled up right now. And in front of you guys, you can see is a full, I guess, minifigure scale maybe, of the Duchess Satine Palace. So this is kind of what we're going to be building. So this is not my design. This is designed by Baggles for Real. That's his YouTube channel. I'll link that down below. He was really kind. He's been working on this for a different project of his. So he was really kind to send it over because I was like, hey, you have a great palace. Do you mind if I just kind of take a look at it and use, you know, parts of it like the windows and Maul's, you know, throne here, or Duchess's throne. Can I use aspects of that to, you know, be used in Mandalore? And he was absolutely thrilled and said absolutely. So big thank you to Baggles for Real. This is a wonderful palace design, especially these window designs right here. So I can't wait to build this. I think what we're going to end up doing is the windows will fade. We're not going to build this side with the mural, so it's actually going to be we're actually going to be taking these windows right here and putting them on the other side, I think is what we'll end up doing. And so the throne will be on the left side like you see it right now, but instead we're switching kind of the walls up. So I can't wait to start building, so let's see where we begin at. All right, so coming back out of the computer, I think I'm ready to build the palace, guys. This is my floor so far. It will be expanded more, but this is kind of a good starting ground. This is the length that we have here for the size of the area where we're going to be putting the palace above those different rooms and prison cells. So we have less room than what Baggles had originally designed, but that's all right. I'm going to be kind of modifying this design that he's created. So without ado, let's see what I end up making. And I've got all of this right here, big bricklink order. This is everything I need, and I've got plenty of these clear bricks, which is a big part of this design. So let's see what I end up making, guys. So it's been a few hours now, and I gotta say I am really liking how this is coming out, guys. So right here in front of you, this is the first of 2 big giant glass panels. These look so much better in person than they do on the computer screen from what Baggles originally designed. It looks really awesome. I am absolutely loving this, and it's I wouldn't say it's a joy to build these, but it's definitely very cool in terms of the outcome. There's a lot of little plates and bricks that goes into this. I have no idea how many. I'd have to probably look on the computer, but if I had to guess, this is probably at least 600, maybe more pieces. And now what I'm doing is actually making a mirror image of this. So if I were to flip this over, that's what I'm working on next. This is going to look so good. And you also notice that it's not the same design being copied. You can see for example, in this corner, it's a different design than you see in this corner. But you can kind of see the pattern that's being approached here. So I'm really liking how this is turning out. Funny enough, this height of the wall is actually literally perfect for where this is going to be going in the Mandalorian mock. So I'm really excited to show you that, guys, that here in just a few minutes. This is just coming out really well. Like, look how cool that looks. And then, of course, it's going to be sitting like right about there. 2 of these walls is actually going to end up being longer than what I already have here as a base. So I'm going to end up extending this as well. But next, what I want to do is I kind of feel bad for not showing you guys a time-lapse of this. So I'm going to show a time-lapse of at least finishing this up and actually starting something here on the platform as well. So let's go into time-lapse, and then we'll see this sort of put together over on the mock so you get a better idea. We're not going to finish the palace today, but let's go ahead and jump into that time-lapse right now, guys. All right, everybody, here it is. We have Maul's throne and the glass panels and kind of the floor. This is very much a work in progress, not completed right now, but we're having some of the things that we've been working on today coming together. And so now you should be able to get kind of the bigger picture of what I've been thinking in terms of how we're going to be doing the Sundari Palace, or Duchess Satine's old palace, or now Maul's palace. So however you want to look at it. First off, you might notice there's kind of a big difference happening here where there's being an LED light reflecting light onto this wall, which is kind of lighting up the glass panel on this side, whereas there is no light lighting up this panel. And so basically, if you don't have light on these panels, it doesn't really work effectively in terms of seeing the actual design that we had worked on today. So don't worry about it. We will have lights. You know, this room right now, it's got enough light, but it's kind of dimly lit. But when we get to the finale, I'll have lights pointed out here, and this will all be lit up. So I'm not too worried about this issue right now, but I'm glad when you do have light being reflected on the Lego around here, it will light up the design properly, just like how you see it in Mandalore. This will also be a yellower light because that's more of a sun light, you know, because Mandalore on the outside is kind of like a tan haze because of all the clouds and such. So don't worry about that. It will be a more yellow, hazy light pointed at this, and it'll really come together towards the end. But I'm really liking how the glass panels look here. You know, the floor, obviously not complete, but we do have the throne coming together now. So you saw me in the time-lapse kind of working on Maul's throne. This was actually a lot trickier than I had anticipated. While I had Baggle's original file to work off of, his design was digital, and so some things in real life don't really work with Lego quite like it might work in the digital world with the studio program. So I had to modify this heavily, actually. So I made it work, and I think it looks honestly just excellent. This is a wonderful, wonderful throne. I think Maul looks very menacing on there. We have Ahsoka, which is actually also designed by my boy Baggles. We have Ahsoka here, kind of just being like, it's time. I don't know. Obviously, the real face-off in this palace, Maul will have his own lightsaber standing here, so don't worry about that. This is just, I'm having fun, honestly, seeing what Maul looks like on the throne and all of that. But yeah, I love this part. This is probably my favorite part of today. That looks so perfect. And I also really do like these glass panels. They look really good as well. So I'd say with the palace now, we're about 50% done. Hopefully next week we can be 100% done. We still need to create the full wall right here. And obviously there's going to need to be another wall right here. I think I'm going to have a doorway and let this be a whole different room right here. I'll probably continue the glass panels and do a different design over here. So that's what we'll end up doing with that. But this right here will be the palace room. Definitely curious to see what you guys have to say. What do you think of this? You know, do you like how I'm utilizing all of this space right here? What do you think of glass panels? What do you think of that throne? I'm really liking it. I think it's going very well. And honestly, I can't wait to see the duel between Ahsoka and Maul here in the next few weeks once we get to the finale of Clone Wars. So, all right, that's going to be it, guys. Let's go ahead and head on out. All right, guys, so I hope you really enjoyed Maul's throne and those glass panels. And now, hopefully, you get a sense of what the palace is kind of looking like. Obviously, based off episode 9, the palace is going to have a lot of things happening in that area. So it's really important we get it right. And right now, I think we're on track to really getting it to where I want it to be. Definitely curious, you know, if you guys have suggestions to change it up somehow or add something to it that you think it needs, then by all means leave a comment down below. My email is also in the description in case you wanted to send a studio file or a Lego Digital Designer file. That's always easiest to see designs by fans, because otherwise for me trying to decode pictures, it gets a little complicated. I can't wait for episode 10 of Siege of Mandalore, for the Siege of Mandalore arc to continue, I guess. Also, seeing Grievous, Commander Bly, Aayla Secure, all that just quick little intro was just, loved it. I loved where we're going with the Clone Wars show right now. All right, I'll see you guys next week to finish up, hopefully, the palace. Hopefully next week we can get it finished. We'll just have to wait and see. Hope you guys have a great, wonderful day. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.